cannot tell you how many people have said to me, Gary, that book saved our marriage. Because we were speaking the wrong language, we were sincere, we thought we were communicating love, but they weren't getting it. And everybody agrees that one of our deepest emotional needs is the need to feel loved. And if that's not happening in a marriage, then again, there's an emptiness inside of us.
Hi, I'm Kirk Cameron, and thank you for joining us for a special YouTube exclusive with Dr. Gary Chapman. Dr. Chapman is an author, speaker, and counselor who has a passion for helping people form lasting relationships. Gary, it's so great to have you with us today.
Thank you. Great to be with you.
Gary, you've devoted your life to helping people have strong and lasting relationships, and your books are phenomenal. The 5 love languages, the 5 apology languages. They've been personally helpful for me, and I've been married for 31 years to my wife, and I credit your principles for helping me have a healthy, happy marriage. What are 3 principles that you could share with people for having a successful marriage?
I think a long-term, healthy marriage requires these 3 things. First of all, dealing with our failures. That's what we've talked about. Dealing with our failures. That means apologizing and forgiving the other person when they apologize to us. I don't think you can have a long-term healthy marriage if you don't deal with your failures effectively. And that's why I think the 5 apology languages is so important, to help people understand that my spouse likely has a different apology language than I do, and I've got to learn what their language is and apologize in a way that's meaningful to them. And then choosing to forgive, because if we hold it against them, that barrier stays there, and we can have a long-term marriage. We all know people have been married for 30, 40 years, but it's not a healthy marriage. They're just like roommates living in the same house. If it's going to be healthy, we got to keep the barriers torn down between us, and that's apologizing and forgiving. I think the second essential is learning how to meet their need for love. That's the message of the 5 love languages. I cannot tell you how many people have said to me, Gary, that book saved our marriage. Because we were speaking the wrong language, we were sincere, we thought we were communicating love, but they weren't getting it. And everybody agrees that one of our deepest emotional needs is the need to feel loved. And if that's not happening in a marriage, then again, there's an emptiness inside of us. So learning each other's love language and choosing to speak it on a regular basis is a second essential. The third thing, I think, is having a close personal relationship with God. Because our relationship with God affects everything else we do. And I think, what I encourage people to do, have a sit down and listen time with God every day. Read a chapter in the Bible. Say to God, I'm listening to you. I want to learn what you have for me to learn. You have that kind of relationship with God daily, talk to God throughout the day. It's going to impact in a very positive way the other 2 things, loving them and apologizing and forgiving them. So I would say those are, in my mind, the 3 of the most important things.
Gary, how long have you been married?
60 years. My wife says she doesn't know how that's possible because she says she's only 49.
Well, bless you, brother, for 60 years of marriage, and God bless your wife. My wife is a saint. I've given her so much opportunity to demonstrate forgiveness and kindness that she is a master at these things now. And Gary, I can't thank you enough for your teachings, particularly in your book, The 5 Love Languages, and now the 5 Apology Languages. In fact, it was your teaching that greatly influenced the script for the movie Fireproof. And in that movie, you have a couple whose relationship is going up in flames, and this man, instead of playing the blame game and saying it's all her fault for what she's doing, he takes responsibility, and he owns his failures, and he gets his heart right with God. He apologizes to his wife in a sincere way. In fact, he doesn't just apologize with all 5 of the apology languages that you mention in your book. He adds a 6th apology language, and he brings her Chick-fil-A soup when she's sick. So that's for Christians, we got a 6th language, and it's Chick-fil-A. and that movie has helped so many marriages. God has used your teachings and tools like movies from the Kendrick brothers to make such a difference, and I'm so thankful. Gary, thanks so much for being here, and thank all of you for watching. Please consider sharing this with a friend, and be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a video.